Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Chiang Mai Open final round. We're at Lanna Rocks Garden in Thailand, just outside of Chiang Mai. And quite a crew we've got for you. Shasta Criss, who is your leader, being chased by Trevor Harbolt, along with Teemu Jönkkäri. And rounding out the card is Thai national Pichet Panturat. As we said, it's the final round, front nine. Beautiful course, playing for some baht, as in some cash, also some pride. Take home a victory here at this beautiful course is something you probably forever remember. As we look at hole number one, pretty straightforward in the sense that you've got a big hyzer out to the right if you play a righty backhand. Also, you could go up the left-hand side with either a lefty backhand, as two of our players have, or a forehand if you're right-handed. Shasta's going to go up and over again.
Yeah, Shasta!
Certainly the most common play for a righty backhand thrower. 279, a little bit downhill.
Do it!
Plenty would consider this just a stock hyzer shot. Yesterday, Jönkkäri got caught up in the tree just past that one. Today we'll see how much closer he is. And Pichet also with the lefty backhand. So I love the fact that you're seeing this course and you're getting both the righty and lefty combos. And Jönkkäri doesn't quite have this one locked in. That's 0 for 2 in these last two rounds. He did get it in round one, as Pichet's birdie look from outside of the circle isn't good. Shasta got this in round one, but not round two. Today he'll pick it up in round number two. If you recall, a little spoiler, round number two, he missed hole number one, but then rattled off 11 consecutive birdies. So certainly finding a rhythm after missing the first one. He shot 14 under in round two, as did Trevor.
I think they're driving, guys.
Hole two. Again, I'll say stock shot here, especially when you're not dealing with any significant winds. Here, the creek just to the right. Obviously, completely surrounded by that, is out of bounds. Trevor nearly ringing it up. On a better angle today. We saw that cut roll down toward the creek bed yesterday, and today makes up for it with a little bit flatter landing. He did make the putt yesterday, though. And the forehand from Pichet. So this group off to a good start. Yesterday there was a star frame here, which started with a long birdie, and today it might be the same. Just after I mentioned a lack of wind, I feel like we see just a little bit pick up. Certainly helping in this case, blowing from right to left.
I almost did it with the quick. Yeah, it was just like that, but it literally ducks. Oh,
I believe I called this a monk community yesterday, and it really has been more described to me as a novice monk training facility where some gentlemen that are training to become monks may come out here and spend some of their time. And sharing some of the property, as this is very special and unique piece of property that disc golf's even allowed to be at. This is the most wooded hole on the course, probably the single tightest line that we have out here. So seeing somebody hit a tree, not all too surprising. As Trevor said, that was close as well. It certainly was. And the forehand looks great for Pichet. That should secure a par for Shasta, but he's got to be thinking about giving up the solo lead here. There's a good chance Trevor's going to have the look for birdie. And see themselves distanced just slightly from the rest of the cart at the moment. Perfect strike from Harbolt. So he becomes co-leader. Interesting to note as I'm just thinking about it, Trevor recently becoming MP40 eligible. Shasta has fit that category for just a couple of years. And Pichet, I believe, could be playing in the MP50 division if he wanted to be. So certainly some, we'll say, veterans of the game showing us, the young guys, how to get things done out here. Shasta, very diligent in going through his routine. I can appreciate that from any distance. No need to rush anything. We're not in any kind of hurry out here. We head to the fourth, just 220 feet. Today I'll go down by the catch position. I'm basically pin high with the basket. Oh, that looked pretty simple. And Shasta will match. So both of them inside the bullseye. That sets up obviously very well for the lefties. Pretty much just a straight shot with the lightest bit of fade. Even that had more angle than it needed. Oh, and a nasty roll away. Still a look. We'll see if any of those trees or those branches come into play. This basket hunting. Almost off of a branch and in. So 3 that are parked. Jönkkäri with some work, but not a problem. 4 holes in, and we've already seen 2 star frames. I love it. Big thanks to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle. Got a little discount code in the description as we head to our first par 4. It's hole number 5. You have a double Mando that you have to navigate through, and then there's a Mando there on the left side that you have to navigate here to the right of. Plays slightly uphill, 531 feet, so not an incredibly long par 4 by any means. And I love that position. Just left of center, I feel like gives you the best angle to get up to the pin there on that secondary shelf. Shasta just a little behind Trevor there, but again, great positioning. Good reaction. As we're playing over to this hillside right now, we'll see that this hill comes into play, obviously here on 5, but then also 6. You throw down it on 7, back up it on 8, back down it on hole number 9. So this hill kind of backdrop area, as it wraps around the course, comes into play really for the next four holes or so. Probably even an extension way back on 10 when we get over there as well. So I love the use of the topography and the landscape that's out here. I mean, there's just not a lot to this when you're a higher level player. Putting yourself out here with 200 feet or less to the pin should be a relatively easy up and down for just about any of our pros. And you can even get aggressive. I mean, obviously you could bring a basket hit and a rollaway into play, but the idea of being able to go after this pin with the backdrop, I'm a big fan. Not a problem for Pichet. Round number 1. Trevor had a bogey on 9, where we saw both Jönkkäri and Criss go bogey free. And in round 2, Pichet had a bogey on this particular hole. And that's all we've seen for bogeys. So what is that? 2 or 3 total bogeys off this lead card in their previous 2.5 rounds of play. So definitely plenty of birdies here, but you cannot give any back to the course. You got to stay clean. As we look at hole number 6, 240 feet on the ridge line along this hillside, as I was mentioning. Shasta lining up the forehand.
Don't do that. Oh, no.
Of course, off the fairway, but it relatively open from down there. It's just a matter of finding the right power to get up to the hillside, but not too much obstruction. Oh, nice flat putter shot coming from Shasta. Wow, and what an opportunity. Puts himself about 5 feet past the pin. See him and Trevor all knotted up at 31. A little bit of cushion still over Teemu. Well, he'll be putting from a flat platform, so to speak. Or relatively flat. There's obviously an incline there, but that's way better than being on the hillside. That's what I was trying to emphasize. Trevor has some room down here. Yeah, you hear the frustration from him. Just light on the approach, leaving him with some work to do. Chet right next to the basket. That's going to be a tap-in par. Trevor for par. Just barely left of where you need to be. As it kind of slides out the left side of the chains. So possibly a huge momentum shift here. Trevor's going to lose 2 to Shasta. Coming into this one all tied up. And Shasta's going to pick up a birdie here from short range. We saw it yesterday. There's a ton of birdies on this course, and you should be looking at one every single hole. And the idea that somebody else isn't going to birdie is a pretty risky roll of the dice. But we'll see. Anything can happen. We take a look at hole 7. We're going straight downhill. This is definitely a fun one where I love to see a little creativity. You see the OB Island as it gets played. Obviously, getting somewhere safe on the island's your top concern. And the next question is, do you have a look? Considering all the trees and obstruction that are down there. And that fights through. That's safe. If you're ever out here in the area, I believe they have weekly leagues on Thursdays. Forehand flick, no problem. I know the Chiang Mai scene continues to grow, working on some new course projects. As that's just barely deep for Pichet. Also, other days of the weeks where I think they have some leagues. I think there's a weekend league that takes place, possibly one here on Saturday or Sunday that's doubles. And I think something like that happens closer to the city on one of those days as well. So check UDisc, check Facebook. There's a link in the description of the video. Chiang Mai Disc Golf has tons of information out there on Facebook as we see the birdie. Got 4 of them through 7. Trying to keep our leaders in his sights. Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be feeling a little bit of pressure now after giving up 2 on the previous hole. Shasta can extend it to 3. A little more than a third of the way through the course, Shasta's now broken out a 3-stroke lead. Chet cleans up. So really seeing that Trevor's the only one on the card to not pick up the birdie. Big thanks to my friends over at Zing Mini. I've been bringing those international, and I'm going to continue to do so with some of the Samui Disc Golf stamps or Disc Golf Guy stamps on them. If you have any mini needs, reach out to our friends over at Zing Mini. I love me the Flapjack Minis. That's what I've been using and bringing everywhere. The Disc Golf Guy sent you. Uphill, 177 feet. Plays at least 200, maybe 225. See if his footing is awkward from that spot. Not so much that he has a lot of distance to the pin. It's just more about making sure his feet are in a good spot where it's easy to make a putt from. Get a good stance, that is. So after seeing a couple of them get all the way to the top or go even a little long in round 2, so far 3 of them have been short, and that catches some stalks on the right side. Oh, and a terrible roll away. You saw he caught the stalks just 10 feet shorter, 8 feet short of the basket. And Trevor not finding his rhythm. This could be trouble. Jönkkäri with an opportunity to catch him. And that's going to ultimately sit down right there. But right now we're seeing a closer battle for second, and Pichet answers. Par for Harbolt. And I'll admit, I'm just working the super zoom because I know they're turning around and playing straight back down the hill on 9. And the catch on 9, I think, is better than being up where the throw is anyway. So, I mean, you can call me lazy in this insane humidity and heat. Actually, it wasn't as bad today as it's been in some other days, but yeah, I'm just pacing myself. And plus, then you get a shot like this. Coming right in. There is out of bounds that can be found all around this hole. It's not quite a perfect circle. There's, I don't know what polygon or shape we'd call it, but there's 2 shots that are both in bounds. Another good look. Anything that keeps the tree out of play, I think it's really easy to go just deep and then bring, well, that tree into play, and we'll see what Trevor is left with. But I feel like that's the mistake, and that's exactly what we're seeing here by Pichet. It doesn't matter, though. All right, guys, we're wrapping up on the front 9. Just 9 holes left to play. Right now, we're seeing Shasta trying to pull away from the group. We'll see if he can hold on, but like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I definitely have some giveaways. I know I was just mentioning the Zing Minis. Those, along with a disc or 2, I think seem appropriate to be given away. So put a comment in the video, in the description or comment section. I think that's the fancy term. Let me know what you think of Chiang Mai Disc Golf out here at this beautiful facility. We're at Lanna Rocks Garden. Big shout out to everyone who keeps this course up and running and playable for the rest of the community. And hopefully you'll get a chance to get over there yourself and check it out. I'm already looking forward to 2025's action. Right now, through 9, Shasta has a 4-stroke lead, 5 over Jönkkäri, and 9 on Panturat. So we'll see who's left for the battle. Just 9 holes left to play. We'll see you on the back 9.